Okay, now we're to the point in the videos where I'm going to talk to people about how they can help. Now, I realize that in the video I've basically told everybody that we've had to do things this way because it's pretty much impossible for anybody to help because the powers that are going up against everybody are firmly in control and can smash any individual like a bug at any time they want to. And based on what they did to the Occupy movement, damn, sending cops after people. Side note, law enforcement officers throughout the nation, seriously, look at what you're doing to the citizens of the jurisdictions that you have sworn to serve and protect. These are Americans exercising their constitutional rights, and you are beating them, you are tear gassing them, and you are doing the most awful things. Seriously. Who the hell are you people? This is subhuman behavior that is exactly what you were hired to do. And you need to decide if the people that you're beating on are indeed U.S. citizens that pay your paycheck or not. Because really, all anybody's trying to do is get their point across. And in America, that's what we're allowed to do. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell me that killing somebody or beating somebody or tear gassing somebody is your job. I don't think so. But with that being said, there are some things that people can do to help us. And that is for sure. The first one is how you use the internet. There's a software package out there called Tor, T-O-R. And Tor is a program that uses onion routing. And onion routing just basically IP address hops through a bunch of different servers so that it can't be easily determined who is making the requests. Because they have to go back through all these Tor servers that are very secure because they're about security people. And it helps to making it so that the government can't spy on your internet. There's some things you can, that bypass that, but for the most part, people downloading the software and using it makes finding a needle in a haystack, makes the haystack bigger and harder for the people like us that are out there raising some serious havoc with the U.S. corporate world. Makes us less vulnerable. The second thing that you can do is email encryption. This is more complicated, I'm telling you the truth, but you need to do your research, talk to people out there that know about good encrypted email services, and the key to understanding a good one from a bad one is any service that asks for a public key and a private key is what you're looking for. That's the encryption that you're looking for. The public key is the one you give out, preferably offline, through a landline to landline phone call or U.S. Postal Service. And that key encrypts the email. The private key is the one that you keep safe, and it is the one that decrypts the email. Again, this makes it so that the NSA can't brute force decrypt every encrypted email all the time, because half the emails that they're decrypting are, grandma's apple pie recipe, or, normal everyday email to a friend. But again, needle in a haystack, much bigger haystack. The third thing that people can do is learn about the dark web. Now, it sounds scary and but all it is like the not searchable portion of the internet. And there's actually, some pretty cool things to it that if you do your research and figure it out and get out there on IRC and talk to people and, tell them what you're doing and why you're doing it. And, get out there on IRC, learn, and, use that part of the internet, because again, anybody that uses the dark internet is, being tracked and monitored and blah, 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 blah. We need normal people, non-hackers, non-cyber professionals out there to overwhelm the capacity of the system to monitor everybody all the time. It's very, very simple. There is one more thing that everybody can do to help, and this is well within everybody's ability to do something about, because this is really easy. 2016, we're going to have a presidential election, and there's a candidate out there that, though this candidate has not announced candidacy, this candidate is bulletproof. This candidate is impeachable. There's no skeletons in the closet. And moreover, this candidate would be the cabal's freaking worst nightmare. And obviously, the lying pedophile cannot endorse any presidential candidate, because that would be used against the presidential candidate. But I can say for sure that if this presidential candidate announces that this candidate is going to run for the presidency, this candidate will become the next president. The only thing preventing it is the cabal keeping the announcement from happening. And I will tell you right now, there is a huge movement to enlist the support of this candidate, because a large number of people are out there seeing what this candidate has done as a senator, and before this candidate was a senator, what this candidate did for the little guy, and is doing everything in their power to get this candidate to run for presidency. Now, I will disclose the reason that we're so excited about it is because if this person becomes president, we can get everything done in a 4-year term. I think this candidate would be surprisingly shocked at the kind of support that she was able to get from the Senate and the House. I think that this candidate would be very impressed about how well everybody seemed to get together and work to complete the financial reform agenda that this candidate really, really, really wanted to do in the first place. And I think that this candidate would even be fairly impressed to know that she's got a lot of help from her constituency. And having somebody that can't be corrupted in the office of the presidency is bar none the biggest thing that could help us get our job done and maybe even get back to our lives and our families in our lifetime. So yeah, we pretty much need that one. 4-year term, just one. Don't even have to try. Just run, president, 4 years, done. You can retire, write your memoirs. You'll have everything you need. That's it.